Good evening and welcome to It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where three friends with varying degrees of nerd knowledge get together to have a chat about all things geek once a week. Joining me are my usual brothers in geek. First up, we have a comedian and an impressionist and winner of the David Hasselhoff Hairstyle Award 1989. It is Mr. Chris Lumb.
Hello.
Hey, oh, lovely. How you doing?
I'm all right, and you're right. It's
very
award-winning.
It's amazing. I like it. I didn't want to say anything in the backstage area. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to keep that up my sleeve.
Good, you could shove it up your sleeve as well.
How's your week been, Robbie?
It's been all right. Yeah, not too bad. Can't complain. UK on lockdown again, aren't we? So what can you do?
Watch lots of cool films and play lots of cool computer games.
Yes. I did. I watched the third series of Cobra Kai this week. I binged
it. Oh, let's have a little chat about that later on because,
no spoilers.
No spoilers. All right, and coming up next is our other brother in geek. It is the lovely musical supremo and very long-haired man. It is Nathan Webb. All right, Webby, how you doing?
Sorry, guys. Just putting a bit of chap.
Oh, you got some chapped lips, love.
Yeah, a bit dry.
Have you guys got snow up there?
Can't hear that, can you? Sorry.
Yeah.
We've not. I've not. There's no snow in Leeds. No, I don't think. No.
Oh, really?
It tried really, really hard, but the ground was like, no, go away, like repelling it with its sweat or whatever it does. I don't know what it does. It's just, and I'm looking at people's photos on Facebook, and they're up the road. I like building snowmen in a foot of snow. I'm just like, you're up the road, man. This is just a joke. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, and I've got some friends over in Pudsey, and their kids made like a massive snowman today, and I was just like, I'm kind of surprised you guys haven't had any snow. It is literally around the corner.
Yeah, this is why we didn't take the kid out in this pathetic snow, because you know when you see the sad snowman that's clearly got bits of grass and dog poo and rocks. That's what we would have ended up with. Yeah.
That's a giant rock for a head, yeah.
Did you ask?
No, I was literally just about to ask, how was your week, Webby?
It was all right, man. Yeah, back to work, back to lockdown, just how I like it.
Back to the future.
Yeah, weird one. So finding out straight away we're going back into lockdown, everything had to be put on hold a little bit, and while we thought how we're going to look after the kid and what we're going to do, we'll go back to work and how's it going to work? Apart from that, we've kind of got used to this adaptability that's forced on us, I guess.
I don't know. Right? We spoke last night, and you were telling me that you had spent the day target practicing with Nerf guns with your son and just playing with loads of figures and things like that. That sounds like a pretty sweet way to spend a Friday.
Yeah, we had the best Lego Batman game, just playing on the living room floor with his new Lego from Christmas, and we had the best time ever. I'm just like, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but when it comes to kids games, pretty hot stuff.
I don't want to blow my own imagination, but when it comes to making up Lego scenarios,
my imagination's terrible. But like, for some reason, put me with the kid and a bit of Lego, and I'm like, the Joker escaped from Arkham Asylum, and he was farting all over the people in the city. But it was just hilarious. Robin was laughing his head off. It was great.
You should sell that idea to DC. It'd make more money than anything else they're doing at the moment.
Oh, don't know. I think the Lego ones are doing all right, aren't they? Yeah.
Speaking of which, there was a story about Robin that you were supposed to tell us last week, Nathan, and you completely forgot. Can you tell us about...
Oh my God. This is quite awkward. I don't want to, it's only 3, so audience, take it easy on him. But when you forget a word, Lummy, you ever forgot a word and just replaced it
all the time?
Yeah. You're how old now? 40, 41?
Something.
Yeah, 41, something like that.
It's older than us.
I'm older than that.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Well, and it still happens now, right?
It happens more frequently now, yeah, because of what you just said.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, it's a factor. But he's 3 and he's just learning words. When you're a kid and you replace a word. The other day, he looked at me and my partner, and he went, quite reasonably, he went, nipple fight? What? What? I looked at her and I said, did you see nipple fight? And he went, And she said, yeah. And I'm like, and then he went, nipple fight. And we were like, what are you talking? Who have you been playing with?
Yeah.
What's going on? And he went off out into our bedroom, came back with 2 pillows off the bed, threw one at me and went, nipple fight. Nipple fight. And obviously, I'm like, pillow fight. How have you replaced the word nipple with pillow in your head, man? It's just, it's really crazy. Nipple fight. We were relieved. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
Relieved.
So he's having a word with the staff at the local nursery. Well, that's fantastic.
We've all done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to It's All Geek to Me. If you feel compelled to leave a comment or get involved in the show, that's what it's all about. It's all about creating a geeky. Hey, Roberto, hello you. How are you doing, buddy?
There's a few people already.
How you doing, man? So yes, thank you very, very much. Keep commenting, get involved in the show. That's what it's about. It's about building a community. So this week we have, starting as always, we have the geek news. What's in the news that's geeky this week, gents?
Well, first of all, Marion Ramsey, who's was Hooks in Police Academy, she sadly passed away. There you go. Pretty upset about that.
Well, I think we all are a little bit, but Lummy a bit more so. It's a bit of a Police Academy.
Yeah, we haven't actually covered this on the show, but Lummy, and actually I'm quite surprised because he's managed to get sort of a Police Academy reference into pretty much every show he's ever done. But Lummy is a massive lover of Police Academy. What's your favourite Police Academy, Lummy?
Oh, I think it's number 4, but I do like number 5.
I like Citizens on Patrol.
That's number 4. That's number 4.
Oh, which is number 2? The one with Bobcat Goldthwait is in the first. He's a criminal.
Hang on a minute. Right, number 2, Bobcat Goldthwait starts in it as a gang member, right?
Yeah, and then he becomes the police.
Zed.
Third one, Zed. Third one, he joins the police force, and then he's in 4, and then he quits after 4, and so does Guttenberg. But Marion Ramsey was in all of them apart from number 7, I believe.
Which one was 7? Was that Mission to Moscow? Or was that 6?
Yeah, it was. It was garbage, that one. Even I admit that was terrible.
Okay. Which is
all the
rest
rest
which is the one in Miami Beach? Is that 5?
5.
Yeah. Points his magnum at the shark in the water. Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Leave the swimming area now, mister. Yeah. Good.
Oh, that's right. It was Zed in I think it was Police Academy 4 with that sort of pastiche of the scene from Psycho.
Yes.
Where the kid goes into the shower and he goes, I want about my shampoo.
Yeah. I mean, as with everything we talk about on this stuff, when you grow up watching these things, they have a bit of a special place for you, don't they? And
you get to the right old age of 40, whatever you are, yeah, I'm sure. Because things come back round full circle. I mean, Bobcat Goldthwait went from Police Academy. He was a stand-up comedian, wasn't he? So if anybody knows, he's well known.
Hey, he's a great director.
He's a director now. Yeah. He directed Robin Williams in 1 or 2 films, didn't he?
He did that
off the cuff.
What was that film he did? He did that film, that really dark one about the guy who wanted to kill everybody. And what was it called? I think it was just God Bless America, I think it's called. He keeps fantasizing about blowing people away, but then he starts going and doing it, and it's he's trying to sweep the streets of all these people, like these, like people on X Factor and things like that. But it's a very good movie. I think it's Bill Murray's brother who's in it.
So, interesting. Interesting. Oh well, that's quite sad.
He's in Scrooged, isn't he? He's in Scrooged.
Yeah. I think we've kind of gone off on a tangent here.
You're
the people who you think are going to be big from the films, like poor Steve Guttenberg. I don't know, what did he do in Hollywood that sort of put people off casting him, Lummy? Because
a friend of mine, do you remember Lee? A friend of mine. I used to be my old housemate. He swears that he's seen Steve Guttenberg in a porno.
Maybe.
Oh, all right.
Who knows? A lot of them did, didn't they? A lot of them did them. Look at Stallone. Stallone did one, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
He did just before Rocky. Yeah, we're in a. I thought this is well known.
Rambo, something like that.
It was called The Italian Stallion. I'm sure of it. Look it up.
World's Greatest Dad. That's the film I was thinking of. It did two really weird ones, Bobcat Goldthwait. World's Greatest Dad with Robin Williams, where Robin Williams plays the dad of a kid who hangs himself, if I remember rightly. Mm. And he wants to... I think he's masturbating when he hung himself. So he wants to protect that from the... So he goes around creating all these lies to try and...
Well, what it is, he wanted to be a writer, did Robin Williams, and he finds the kid's diary and it's really well done, and he releases it as his own work. That's it.
That's why he's trying to hide the... But did he die masturbating? Is that right?
Yeah, we're a bit of a deviant.
Well, I'm very, very sorry for your loss.
Everyone's lost. She seemed really sweet.
Yeah,
when you mess with her. When you
I'll actually tell you my favourite scene of hers was in the first film where she's driving the car around the yard and she's singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town for no reason whatsoever because it's middle of summer. I just love it. And she's driving really slow. I love it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And we've got some other news this week. It's been going on for a little while actually. It's a story that's been running, but it's a story about another YouTuber, a big Star Wars fan. Star Wars Theory is his YouTube name, and you may be aware of a big Star Wars fan streaming out some footage of him crying during the Luke Skywalker reveal on the last episode of The Mandalorian. And regardless of what your thoughts are about kind of showing emotions and things like that, I know we all know that Pablo Hidalgo, who is well known within the Star Wars sort of community and is a big creative for Star Wars, he certainly had some choice words about it. And he actually said, put on Twitter that did he say that emotions are not for sharing? And the guy Star Wars Theory, he addressed this on his channel, and Hidalgo sort of doubled down on what he was doing, and then he protected his tweet so nobody could see it, and then he took the tweet off and he deleted the tweet, but then he published it as his banner on his Twitter profile as well. So this guy Star Wars Theory came back and he gave Pablo Hidalgo a period of time to be able to sort of address it, take the tweet down, resolve the issue, and he never did. So he did another video about it. And one of those instances where the Star Wars community, pretty much the whole community, rallied around this fan and were really pissed off at Hidalgo, who has since reached out to Star Wars Theory, as have the company themselves, to try and make things right. What do you guys think about that? People in kind of positions of authority who have a huge kind of a huge reach in terms of social media, making fun of the fans in that way. Because Star Wars Theory himself was quite critical of The Last Jedi, which I know Hidalgo had an awful lot to do with.
I'm just surprised that people still let people know in this modern age where everything's instantly transmissible and, you know, the age of the electronic mail. You get into the tail ends to communicate that people are still pricks. You know what I mean? They don't realise they're going to get caught. I mean, why? What's the point in pissing on some kid's chips? Who, you know, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, fair enough. If you're putting videos out like that, anyway, it could be argued that you're going to, you know, be subject to a bit of, you know, ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm tempted myself. Like I'm tempted to say, well, don't put videos on the internet of you crying. I mean, I get it; it's a big deal, you know. But I also think, you know, you're living in a dream world if you just think you can. That there's going to be no response from people, you know.
No repercussions.
The repercussions. You know, it's just one of those things. You got to take the rough with the smooth. Just
I mean, the trouble is
when we're doing this show, you know, you have to take the.
I think half the trouble is people take stuff so seriously, don't they, online as well? When people do put things, it's so tricky. But I think people who work at like Lucasfilm and like that. The guy is employed by Lucasfilm to have a go at the fans like that. He shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Well, I mean, it's got further repercussions for Disney as well. You know,
I think it'd be more a message of like, oh, well, thanks for that, man. You guys are the kind of reason we make these shows, and to know that it's hit home like that.
Yeah,
something nice and positive rather than be like, It sounds like the guy was in his office late at night and had too many lines of coke, and he'd opened his laptop and just thought, right,
maybe, allegedly.
That's something like that. Just an alpha male douchebag, really. But
any guy, some guy, no specific guy.
I reckon he allegedly shoves Jar Jar Binks' Pez dispensers up his ass as well. Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. Okay. Oh, the thing that gets me about it is that
that's Pablo Hidalgo, not the other guy. You get in trouble if you don't tell it. If you don't say who it is.
The thing that gets me about it.
Binks' Pez dispensers left over in storage as well. He don't even have to wash them off. Just get a new one every time.
The thing that gets me.
Sorry, Rich. Sorry.
No, sorry. The thing that gets me about it is that you are in a business of making people emotional, making people get in touch with their emotions. You're putting material out there that is designed to trigger and to be able to make the audience react. So then you're India.
Having the emotions.
You're doing what he intended you to do.
Yes. Like, take a bit of pride in your work. Be like, wow, we made this kid cry.
Right,
and he felt the need to show everybody in the world him crying at this
time. Okay. In defense as well of Star Wars theory, this is a guy who got bullied at school. He's been through chemotherapy and things like that. And Luke Skywalker, for him, was a character that kind of got him through it. It kind of gave him courage, and it was somebody he looked up to. So he was so upset.
Dude, I'm only...
No. It's for everybody. It's for everybody who's watching as well. He was so upset with the portrayal of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. And we know he's not the only one. I mean, Christ, half the community, that divided the community massively. I know, it divided us. I know Lummy isn't a big fan of it at all. I really liked it. And so for him to then see the Luke Skywalker that we remember, this is all about, this whole channel is all about, for him to see that Luke Skywalker, it just floored him.
I felt the same way as this kid, man. I'm not berating him. I'm just saying.
No, I know. This is for everybody.
But this is the trouble with reaction videos. If that's your bag, I'm not denying that they're popular. They are massively popular, but it's a one-trick pony, isn't it? You're watching somebody else react. I mean, why are we watching people react to stuff anyway? But, that's what people like to do. So you put yourself out there either way, because if you express the wrong opinion, people come down on you a ton of bricks. If you tell an off joke, people think you're horrible. If you cry on camera, you can be berated by Disney.
Yeah, right. Because that's effectively what it is. It's like almost like a Disney endorsed tweet. Effectively.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the whole problem. That guy's employed by Disney. And this guy has obviously bought Disney Plus to watch their product, and then they're rating their customer. I mean, that's a customer complaint right there, isn't it?
Exactly.
When I put Bambi on, and Robin gets to the horrible bit with the mother getting shot, I don't want some Disney guy coming around to kick him in the nuts as well. Do you know what I mean? What you're crying for, kid? Get over it.
I think that's the other thing about this as well. It's somebody with the reach of Pablo Hidalgo punching down.
Exactly.
At somebody, it's fine. Make a joke about what you want, but if you're going to be punching down, then kind of consider.
This guy's quite a a well-known YouTuber.
Yeah, he's done really well. Yeah.
Is he getting more views than him?
I can imagine it's done wonders for his channel. We were discussing this earlier. I can imagine
Let's get him on the show. Let's see if he wants to come on to our for a chat. We like the guy. It's fine. I mean, we all know when we talked about the Mandalorian anyway, that finale, we all got emotional seeing that, of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
We were really
the only difference is we didn't sit and watch the video and do it, I guess. That's it.
Yeah. We didn't film ourselves doing it. Yeah, exactly that.
I mean, I might film myself next time I go shopping, having a rave about all the people not wearing masks out in shops.
A vlog where I'm just sat on the toilet, just having poos. Blog, like a blog.
Do you cry when you do that though? Because
well, I could do if you want.
right, do that. And we'll react.
But I think that is it, isn't it? That we are all entitled to criticize anybody, and if you put yourself out there, then you are entitled. Then you are opening yourself up for criticism. But when you are somebody who has the reach of someone like Pablo Hidalgo, and you represent the very company that the guy.
Yeah, and look what happened as a result of this kid crying on camera and then feeling bad because a Disney executive pulled him to pieces about it. He's now got hundreds of thousands more views. The guy's probably going to lose his job. The other guy for being a prick.
Not a chance. Not a chance. It's untouchable. It's pretty untouchable.
They get relegated to the Star Wars stuff nobody wants to work on, like the Jar Jar Binks show that's coming out. I don't know, but it does. Your words have power these days, and it can happen. I don't want to make comparisons from this to the Me Too thing, but it is that similar thing that people are reacting to stuff that's happening online. It's so quick. It's just happened so quickly. People are losing their jobs overnight for saying daft stuff. So I hope we don't get more views than we should. I don't want to be one of them. I'm just going to look back through all the old shows and see what stupid stuff I've said.
It's quite a lot. Too much.
I'll be here sometime.
Well, that was the Geek News this week. Can
we just clarify? We all support the guy and his channel, and
yeah, I think we've made that quite clear, haven't we? Star Wars.
Aldo, you're doing the Lord's work. Oh, you meant the other guy. Sorry. Shit.
No, Star Wars Theory, we've got your back, buddy. Because
he's watching with his thousands of views.
I'm going to stop what I'm doing with a million viewers. I'm just going to stop what I'm doing. I've just got to watch this show by these three guys from Leeds.
Yeah, no, and then it's going to put a video out of him crying, watching us talking about it.
And then his views will go down and he'll think, what have I done?
Oh, dear.
Oh,
it's a win-win.
I mean, I'm sure you guys agree. I'll always support the underdog, though. If it's multi-millionaire from some companies ragging on some poor kid on YouTube, then they need taking down, don't they, basically?
Absolutely. What have you got for us this week, Lummy?
I've had this rash all week coming back. I haven't. Do you mean we're still on the news? Because this has been a big thing this week. They've actually brought out a timeline for the old.
News.
There you go.
Get up.
There you go.
I don't have enough news. I need more.
You need more news.
Yeah.
So what they've done here, obviously, is they're categorizing everything. Now you can see High Republic. So the High Republic is a new series. They've just brought out this book. This is starting it off called Light of the Jedi, and it's supposed to be pretty good. I had a quick look at some reviews, but because I can't read, I won't be reading it. That doesn't make sense, though, does it? Because I said I read the reviews. Anyway, but yeah, so that's this High Republic. That's starting off this new kind of saga, I guess. And then all the other things have been categorized: Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, New Republic, Rise of the First Order. You can see in there Mandalorian, New Republic, obviously.
All right, I'm going to make an analogy that it's not usually my kind of thing because I'm not a sports person. But when a sports team does a sports thing, right? And they haven't won for ages and ages. Well, I don't know what team. I'm just making it up. But the team then wins. And all the fans go crazy, and then they win a couple of games, and all the fans keep going crazy, and it's great, and you get your hopes up, and then it just falls on its ass. For me, that's like I can't put all that hope into Star Wars. I know they've done all right with The Mandalorian, and so far, that's working out. But they've got some damage to repair for me. You know what I mean? They've got some making up to do. So I'm looking at it with a pinch of salt.
That's a quote of the day, that.
I'm looking at it with my eyes wide shut.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm looking at the
Can that be the new slogan for the thing, for the show? Look at this with a pinch of salt.
Welcome to It's All Geek to Me, the show where we look at geek news with a pinch of salt.
I can't see. Oh, hang on. Does that help? If you're trying to see
that won't help you. That'll make it worse. That'll sting your eyes.
Oh my word!
We got a few comments. It's more just that that were back from earlier. Sorry.
Yeah.
Academy, 1 hour silence.
Films for years.
An
hour. Only an hour.
An hour.
Only an hour.
Stallone, Italian. I'll just go through. Pez dispensers were sideways.
Jar Pez.
They were like that, weren't they? With the
He
top.
was saying he put them up his bum sideways. He's making a ring hole size joke.
I can't remember. I did a funny thing.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I can get it on Audible. I'll get it on Audible. That then, nice.
On Audible.
Audible. Audible. Told you I can't read. Audible. Audible. That's my company, Audible.
Oh my god! They're making me cry.
Oh, what we're talking about?
Right, Lummy, it's your segment. Tell us.
Sorry.
Dry my eyes.
Sorry, right. Well, more order. Sorry. Right, okay. So this week.
Is that it? Is that it for news?
That's the news, isn't it? Yeah. That's the news. Right. Good night. Something happened in the USA as well, but it won't geek related.
Oh, that was big, wasn't it? Yeah, that's great.
I did see somebody, right? This is brilliant. I saw somebody refer to all those patriots storming the Capitol building as the Gravy Seals. And honestly, that made my day yesterday.
Also, you've seen the mock-up
of Patriots.
You've seen the mock-up of the Lego set, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
The Capitol set. We got a picture. I think I've got a picture on my phone, but I don't know if. But yeah, somebody already has made a mock-up Lego box.
Yeah,
breaking in of Capitol building. Whatever. It's just unbelievable the detail in it. But
I'll try and pull that up later.
They won't let this thing with Donald Trump being in Home Alone 2 like 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And now he's been banned from Twitter. For some reason, that's got another load of Home Alone 2 fans all riled up, and they're like, "Now's the time to take him out of the film. Like, get him out of your office." Do you know what I mean? Never mind.
They're all bothered about the film.
About a 30-year-old film difference going to make it a game, man. It's unbelievable.
But it is good that Donald Trump and Piers Morgan ended up being such good friends and then appearing in the same film.
Yeah, that's right.
That would have been a really good joke if we had a picture of the homeless lady.
I have got it somewhere, but I'll try and find that for you in the Lego one later.
I think we used that on our Christmas show, didn't we? When we were doing the best
film. Used it on the Christmas show. The Boxing Day extravaganza. Right then, so this week I've been looking at deleted scenes, and I thought I'd pick one for you because I found some more. There's two. Right, first one, I'll get this out of the way straight away. Uncle Buck. This guy, I put his YouTube channel's there. Take a look at this if you're watching. YouTube.com, Hats Off Entertainment. This guy got sent a deleted scene from Uncle Buck, and it's 10 minutes long, and it's like Uncle Buck playing a card game with his buddies. Really, really good to see something like this after so long.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and I watched it, and I was like, it just felt like a fine scene. It's the only thing I wished was that it was a little bit. Obviously, the guy got sent it on VHS, didn't he? That was the only copy that existed. Like, you can see the grainy picture.
Yeah.
Like, the only copy of this thing that exists is on VHS, so it's pretty bad.
But check this guy's channel out because he does some other videos. He's done
some great stuff. You put me onto him. I have to say he's done some good stuff. I watched the Christmas stuff he did. He did a bit about the Christmas story, I think, and National Lampoon or something.
That's why I thought people can go on his channel and watch the clip rather than show it on here. So that's cool. But that was the first thing that apparently a crew member sent him the video as well.
No,
who works on the film. Like what?
Wow.
So it does make you think they must have some more stuff lying about. They must have.
Yeah.
So
they're just hiding it from you because they know it's making you lose sleep at night.
I mean, Uncle Buck's a great film. I love it, but. If the Planes, Trains and Automobiles stuff, I will lose my shit because I hope they
find that one day because that is, I reckon, a right little pot of gold. A pot of gold.
Right, the thing I'm going to talk to you about then that I found a bit more about this week. I knew about this already and I had some images from it already, but I didn't have the video clip that I found this week. So anyway, I'll talk you through it. The Goonies, right? The Goonies. Everybody knows about deleted scenes, the octopus scene that got released on the DVD. Infamous at the time. Everybody went, "Why is there an octopus scene? Or why is he talking about the end of the movie?"
Remember at the end of the movie, the Chinese data, the Chinese kid says. There's a bunch of news reporters all around them, and they're all going, "So what happened in there, kids? Tell us about the pirate ship and stuff." And the data just goes, "Well, the octopus was really scary." And you sit there going, "What?"
I always thought he was messing. He was messing with them. I actually didn't know about the octopus until this week. Until you guys
talk about greedy, Gittins. Like, how greedy is that? You've just found a treasure ship, and you've been down water slides and seen all this crazy stuff, and you've got to have an octopus as well. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so the octopus scene got released on the DVD extras and all that. They
cut it out because it looked ridiculous.
Yeah. Some of this stuff has been released, but I read about this a while back, and basically there's a bit where you're not going to believe this. If you don't know about this, it'll be crazy. Right, I'm going to pull up some storyboards first for you. Here we go. Right, so there's two gorillas. Do you know the bit where the Chunk and Sloth throw the pipes in the air and they shove them up? Right, it starts causing havoc, and apparently it made a load of animals escape from a local zoo. Right, it sounds like craziness. So these two gorillas get away, and they go and steal a golf cart, drive away, and then they go to a petrol station. You can see the petrol pumps on right there, and they steal a car. They steal Troy's car. Right.
Wow.
So this is so weird that this was in it, and apparently it kept cutting back to these gorillas. There you go. There's that's director Richard Donner in the middle, and they're obviously the performers of these two, monkeys that they had, these two apes. Then all the while, there was a couple of stills. So there you go. That's in action.
That's actually that's outside his house, isn't it? It looks like
So you got the cop car chasing from start of film and all that. So this was like a subplot, and then I'm gonna. Right, there's also, this is what goes with it as well. There's an alternate ending to the film. And the video that's got this chase with the gorillas on it actually has the alternate ending as well.
Why do I feel like somebody's getting bummed by gorillas at the end of this original?
No. What happens is, you can see there, that's the alternate ending at the end of the film, obviously, where basically they go back to the house. None of the beach stuff happens. They actually go back to the house and start packing the vans up to move. And then Rosalita finds the gems while she's doing the washing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the video on. It's terrible quality. I've got to warn you about this. Okay. But it is moving pictures, so hopefully it'll play. We'll try it. So you're going to see, first of all, it's a chase with the gorillas, and you'll have to go like that and look at it. And then it goes to Rosalita with the finding the jewels. So I'll just put it on and see if it works. Here we go.
Daddy, why don't we start with the Walshes?
I like the way you think, boy. Let's go.
All right.
Is it not working?
No, that was fine. That's fine. I've just got salt in my eye. I just took it too much.
Did it work? I can't tell if it were working or not.
Yeah, that worked.
Ah, shit. Hang on then.
Well, Daddy, why don't we start with the Walshes?
I like the way you think, boy. Let's go.
All right.
Híjole, ¿cómo hace ruido esa puerta? Un chillo aquí. Ya no sé.
Well, there you go. How weird.
I'm glad they kept it the way they did.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That looked pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Now, my first thought when the monkeys were driving down the street and the sound went off a bit, by the way. I don't know if there was supposed to be sound there, but anyway.
No, that's because it wouldn't have gone through post-production, so it wouldn't have had the effects on it.
I thought they were driving a bit wonky, and I thought, hang on, for monkeys, they're not actually doing that bad. You know what I mean? Actually,
yeah, true.
A little bit wonky, but they were monkeys. Where did they get the keys?
They probably keys were in car. Probably, I don't know. They took it from the petrol station. So obviously somebody might have had the keys left in while they were fueling up.
Are you hoping that scene lasted a minute longer so you could have finished that sweet, Nathan, before then?
I'm sorry, but if somebody's going to leave a thing of Quality Streets next to me, I'm not going to make it through a 2-hour show without having a nibble. They're right there.
So anything else with the Goonies, Lummy?
Say again, sorry.
So that's the full deleted scene.
That's the deleted scene, yeah. And obviously this stuff's still out there. So yeah, my point is that people are still finding this stuff years later. That you think, well, what? So what else is out there? It's always been fascinating to me.
It's interesting and it is fascinating. Yep. However, I could have happily lived my whole rest of my life not knowing that. You know what I mean? That I even had a deleted end because I really like the ending. I really like.
Oh no, that's it. You can tell why this stuff were cut, and for timing and everything and all that business. But I've always found it interesting ever since I was a kid, like stuff that got cut out of films.
Oh, me too. The ones that get me are the ones that you can't understand why they cut.
Yeah,
those are the ones that actually like why, you just like why. That's a brilliant scene, but that's really sort of quite few and far between, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of stuff. What I'll start doing probably every week, I'll try and find a different one to talk about for us.
That'd be great,
there's some really good stuff. I found some from Gremlins as well.
Any recommendations out there? If people want to comment, send us a film that they want to try and, even if it's a silly one, Debbie Does Dallas or something, I don't know. But, we'll try and find some. We'll try and find some dirt on it. Give us a challenge.
Give us a challenge, yeah.
Give Lummy a challenge. He's not busy enough.
Right, it's true.
Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table, cutscene wise, next week. Okay, we're coming back to we're coming back to the best and worst segments this week. Movies in computer games or computer games based on movies. There was a point where pretty much every film had like a computer game franchise attached to it. It's not something that happens as much these days, but we are asking what your best and your worst computer game was that was based on a movie. And we're going to go to Chris first. Chris, what was the best computer game that was based on a movie for you?
Right, okay. Best one without a doubt. I played this when it first came out on I think Amiga I had it on. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, point and click adventure from LucasArts.
Brilliant.
Superb. It was like the fourth at the time Indiana Jones film we were all waiting for. Played like a movie. Screenshot here for you as well. Interface at the bottom there. You selected your objects and that and used them on various things to progress. There were three ways to play the game as well. There were like an action way where you went through and just kick shit out of everybody basically. There was like a wits path which used your brain a bit more, and then a team path where you work together with the other character to get through it all. So really good, really fantastic game. Had your music in there as well. And
did you ever complete it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you? How long did it take? And were you able to save your progress with it being on a computer, or did you have to start from the beginning every time?
You could save it. We're on discs at the time, so you could save it.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this: when I had it on the Amiga, it was so far advanced. You needed 11 discs, so it came on 11 discs, and you had to swap everyone out every time you were doing something. And then they brought a CD.
You don't know the horror of that.
Yeah. And it'd load it, go, they insert this 12 or 11 or 10 or 9 or whatever, you're like, fucking hell. So, but then they brought out a CD-ROM version with full voice talking on it as well, which was great. So you had somebody impersonating Harrison Ford doing his doing his stuff. So, yeah.
What did the impression sound like, Chris?
Sound like Harrison Ford.
Go on. Go on, Lumb. Give us Harrison.
Sounded like Harrison Ford. Doing this shit. Talking about the game. But the guys sounded actually, you could hear what he was saying.
Wasn't there an Indiana Jones game on the SNES that was a bit shit?
No, it was all right. Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures, it was called. It were on the SNES, and it took all 3 movies. It was very. Did you ever play the Super Star Wars games?
I remember that one. Yeah, I do remember because
exactly,
it was exactly the same.
Yeah, it was the same style as those. But it wasn't a bad game. And a little bit of trivia, they were going to release it on the Sega Mega Drive as a port from the SNES, and they didn't do it. And there's a code. Apparently, it's sold for $700.
I never knew that. I never knew that you pronounced it Sega.
You don't. It's Sega. It's Sega.
No, he pronounced it Sega.
Sega.
It's not Sega. Let's say at the beginning of the game. Sega.
Yeah, but I said Sega. I said Sega. Don't have a go.
I'm not. I'm only messing.
Hey, I'll get some money off of Sega.
No, you won't.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry about you taking a Mickey out there on here.
Turn up in a company car with a little motif on the side reading CEEGA. Sega.
I have got dyslexia, man. Come on, give me a break.
You haven't. Don't be making stuff up. Have you?
I have.
Since when?
Since I can't say Sega.
You're not.
I'm learning so much.
I forgot. You are learning more. Just ask and you'll find out.
We've been best friends for 25 years. And,
I'm not trying to have a pop at the dyslexic. That's fine. I just didn't know. I really didn't. If you are, and I've caused you any offence at all, I do apologise.
Sure.
But you could have.
Anyway, what are we on about?
What's your worst?
I was going to pick one on the Nintendo, but
on the Nintendo.
Sorry. Right, okay. My worst one was actually on the Atari. Is that right? I would say Atari.
I don't know anymore.
Atari.
Yeah. Atari. It's Atari 2600.
Oh yeah, you're taking us back.
E.T.
Did you actually have this game, Lumb?
Yes. Yeah, it was awful. I think I might still have it somewhere, but I'd look today, I couldn't find it. But if I find it, I'll bring it on the show to show you I still got it, because I have got it somewhere. But look at that.
Famously terrible. So famously terrible when they couldn't sell them all. They ended up burying them in the Nevada desert, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's an unusual move for a game company to take. They bought a giant pit in the middle of the desert and threw the remaining copies in it.
Yeah, there's a channel, Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah.
He did a big, he did a film about it, didn't he? About the Angry Video Game movie. Yeah, and it's like notorious for being the worst game ever made. And it truly is. I mean, I had an Atari and we had all sorts of games on it, and the graphics obviously weren't anything like good, really, but at the time there were, I guess. But you had asteroids and things like that.
Adaptations on that actually at least not movie adaptation, like the Spider-Man game where you're climbing up a building. It's more like Frogger or Centipede, where you've got it's just a basic game. It's really hard it's not trying to do too much. It's just Spider-Man climbing up a building. Occasionally a bad guy pops out the window and you've got to avoid him. Green Goblin flying around. Man, sorry.
I mean, E.T., I don't know why they didn't just have him in a spaceship doing stuff. It'd have been so easy for them. And they tried this game. It's like there's these pits that you fall down and you had to extend your head to fly out of the pit, and it never worked. You were always forever trying to get out of these pits, and then these government agents would come and grab you and take you somewhere. You're like, it was just crap.
Well,
but we had
government agents all dressed like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Looked a bit like Indy.
Yeah, they're all just like him. But I had Raids of the Lost Ark and stuff for Atari, and that were all right.
What have the community got to say? Have they made any comments about whether they have any favourites or best or worst?
Oh, here we go.
Go on. Look at that. Pop Not Broth. Hello, Pop Not Broth. How are you?
Awesome.
Yeah, Raids of the Lost Ark. So was that also a a sort of role-playing game, or was it a platform?
It was a similar thing where you run around collecting objects and things. The Raiders of the Lost Ark one, from what I remember. I didn't play it. I had it, but I don't remember playing it too much. I don't know if my brother had it, my older brother. Yeah, it made no sense, the game at all. Made no sense.
If any of you have any best or worst computer games, please feel free to let us know. We're looking at computer games that were based on a movie franchise. Nathan, what was your favourite computer game that was based on a movie?
I struggled with this one a little bit because I didn't know whether to take it from the point of view of a kid looking at a game I was excited about, or games that still excite me now as an adult, and they're not the same thing. So when I was a kid, we really loved like everything. Like we got excited about everything that came out, but it was a much more simplistic time where you weren't expecting it to look exactly like the movie like we are now. But my most recent favorite, just for playability and fun, is I love the Lego Harry Potter games. Tried the Star Wars ones, tried the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings ones. They're all right, but this one, it's got something cute about it. It's pretty special. The cutscenes, it's funny. It's dead easy to get into, have a little mess about. And
so, what is it that they've got right about the Harry Potter one more than the other Lego series?
I just think it works better as a series. The Star Wars ones are good. The Star Wars ones are like my second favorite, but we're always banging on about Star Wars, so I thought I'd have a little change. I haven't played those ones recently. I played the Harry Potter ones not so long ago on a re-release on the PlayStation 4 where they've been like done in HD and stuff, which you don't need for a Lego game. But they're just good fun. They're really funny. So sue me.
I completely agree. I think they're great. I think they're really good fun, all these games. And I went for a bit more old school in mine, but I'm a massive fan of these as well. I think you're spot on. They're very playable, the games. It's just good fun.
Old school, but again, I feel like we would have picked very similar games, the three of us. So I thought I'd mix it up a bit.
I just can't get into the Lego games at all. And I've tried. I mean, I love Harry Potter. I really like Harry Potter, and I've tried to play them, and I just can't.
Play a little bit of it and got a bit curious, but like not quite curious.
I can watch you play it, but there were so many. Actually, I remember you were watching it the week, and I was all sort of. Actually, I think you'll find that at that point in the film, this happens, and then it happened in the game, and you were like, there you are, dickhead, and I was like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's good fun. I mean, like I say, I've played the other Lego games. Some of them I thought were absolutely excellent, and some didn't really do it for me. But Harry Potter is pretty funny. It's got some.
I was going to say, there's the new Star Wars one due out in March.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
Yeah,
and it's all nine of them. That's going to be insane.
And
so we'll have to do
something different with the original. It's not just the remake. There's different. Yeah, there's differences. There's little. I don't know what they've done.
Apparently, you can fly. You can literally jump in a ship, fly into space, and go to a planet and walk around. And
right. So they made it open world.
It's going to be crazy. But if you're watching Lego, send us some review copies. We'll all have one, and we'll play it live and talk about it.
That would be a lot of fun. What about your worst ever computer game based on a movie, Nate?
My worst ever one, there's quite a few, really. Again, I don't know what you guys...
Like Harry Potter 5 to 7.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I did want to say it's a bit of a cheat because it's a double game, is that? Because you get all 8 parts over 2 different...
See, that is the thing that does sound great about it, that you get to do the whole saga.
Yeah, you do. Like literally, chapters of the book are the missions, and you get a bit addicted to trying to collect all the different characters and the different, prizes and stuff. Yeah, it's daft, but it's just a nice little switch off game. Excuse me. My worst game I chose, and this is just simply for the fact that this could have been with a little bit more thought. It's just they've got no excuse because at the time, graphics weren't as amazing as they are now. But it was only 15 or 16 years ago, I think, that this came out. And it could have been so much better. And it's the Matrix game, Enter the Matrix.
Oh, God, that was
which, it just sucked. It just sucked. It just wasn't. Even then, it could have been a lot better. And that's the only reason. I mean, I didn't want to, crap all over everything, really. if I don't like a game, I just don't play it. Do you know what I mean? So picking the worst one is.
I was looking at this.
Out as a stinker for me.
I've never played this game. It must have missed me by this one. But I looked on the screenshots because obviously I grabbed screenshots for this show, and there was a bit where they were outside, like running up, diving off buildings and stuff. I mean, how did that look crap, or would it?
Yeah, just look crap. I think. And also,
nice idea. Just look shit.
Yeah, there were interesting ideas, interesting game mechanics with the slow motion and bullet time and running up walls, but it just didn't work. They did it better with other games later on. But I would say, guys, if you are going to play it with a pinch of salt. You never know.
in your eyes, so you don't have to see how shit it is.
I mean, people's salt bills are going to be massive after all this. Just get a bag. Get a bag. Just get a bag. You'll need it.
Whoa. Don't you have a direct debit to the salt company, Nathan, every month? I do.
Yeah, I do as well. You want to get invested in that salt, Webb. You talk about it. You talk about it all day long, but you don't invest.
What can I say?
Yeah,
I'm flaky. I'm flaky like that. Flaky like salt.
More of a sugar man.
Like rock salt. Yeah, absolutely. So my best computer game based on a movie, without a shadow of a doubt, hands down, and I think it's probably most people's favourite game. It revolutionised kind of first-person shoot-'em-ups. It is Goldeneye 007 on the N64. The amount of hours I have spent in this game,
and you were still
and I was shit. I'm still shitting now at it, really bad. But I mean, it had so many different game modes, so many different types of weapons.
You could be stood across a room in dim lighting, and you could see that that's meant to be Sean Bean there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't need all the pixels in the world to make sure.
It was brilliant. Slaps mode, golden gun. It was just such a great game, and had so many different levels as well.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was brilliant. You're right. It was like, I mean, this defined like game movies, didn't it? In a way, you know.
I think it did a lot for first-person shooters as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's it. That was it.
Yeah, the PvP. You know, it's quite a.
Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. Yeah, I mean, it's up there. It's up there for everybody's choice, isn't it? Really.
And there was something that was so satisfying as well playing that game with the N64 controller, because that was really conducive to a sort of first-person shooter. It was quite a chunky controller, and it worked. It worked really, really well.
So what about that period of time where all the different controllers were coming out, and it just used to feel like so frustrating. Can't you just do the same sort of controller? Because
absolutely.
Getting hold of a different alien species and having to learn a whole new way of thinking and speaking. Yeah. It's just, it was really. I mean, they're still doing.
Hey, Luke, how you doing? Nice to have you on board. It's a great game. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so anybody who is commenting and who played Goldeneye, who is your favourite character to play with? Lummy, who did you like playing with on Goldeneye? Which character?
Let me think.
Well, you were always Bond, weren't you? You were always Bond.
No, with the guy with the Odd Job.
Yeah. Odd Job was great. Odd Job was great because he was slightly smaller, so he was harder to shoot.
To be honest, I never really played the multiplayer on it. I always played the single player campaign. I didn't really do a lot of.
Yeah, okay, so that is the other thing as well, isn't it? Because there were different modes. There was the single player going through all the missions, and there was the multiplayer one, which you could play up to 4 people, and I think that's kind of the one that a lot of people play together. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people played that together. I'm just looking at a list of the characters.
I remember being really excited when I finally unlocked Baron Zamadi.
Yes.
But then realizing that I think he's got like a top hat on, and
he does, and it made him easier to hit.
Exactly, easy to hit because people forget that. Stick a hat on.
Yeah,
you could get the golden gun as well, couldn't you? Was that a collectible or was that a?
Yeah, that was a one-shot kill gun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like to play as Alec Trevelyan.
You know what I liked about it as well? It was so close to the film, wasn't it? And it kind of filled in again. What we were talking about earlier, delete scenes. It filled in the gaps from the bits of the film. It was really well done.
It was a brilliant game. It was just really, really fun.
A few years ago, along a similar lines, but they.
Oh
man, what was the one where you had to break it? The big dam one with the snow.
Yeah, the snow. That's exactly the one I was about to say. I mean, a lot of it was snowy, but
can't really remember much more. I remember one of the maps was on top of the satellite on all the catwalks and stuff. I can't remember too much.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know the favorite one.
Don't you get to dive off the like he does at the beginning of the film? You get to dive off the dam, don't you?
Yeah,
the beginning.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah, that's my favorite bit, Luke.
My favorite. And then you were in the toilet, weren't you? And you shot that guy in the head. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Is that?
Do you remember that?
It's not just some horrible dream, you know.
No, it's a game. You're in the top of the thing, and you go along.
Yeah, no, that was the Oscar Pistorius level. It was
Allegedly.
no allegedly.
I think we can say it.
I tell you what, if you were ever when he gets out of jail, you stay at his house, you're never going to want to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, are you? You're just going to I'll just kiss the bed.
Just leave the door open a bit if you do.
Yeah, exactly. Whistle so he knows that you're in there.
There's the light on. Somebody's in here.
Oh, you best stop telling him you're not in there. That's your first mistake, telling him you're in there.
There's nobody in here.
Leave the light off. You don't know in there.
I think my first mistake is taking the invite to go to his house.
Because I'll skip a story.
Where are you going? Yeah, don't go. That was
good. Thank you, Luke. Yes.
Cradle level.
Yeah. Great. And my worst. Gone.
Roberto's put this. I don't know. Was that a level? I never got past.
Archangels.
Was that the graveyard level where there was? If I'm remembering this correct, there was a mission where you were in the helicopter and you had to get out.
Do you know what I think the problem here is, Lummy? I think you're overestimating how much I played the story mission, because I played with my mates, not like some millionaire mates. No, I did. I used to play that pretty much exclusively multiplayer. I don't think I ever played through most of the game. I remember the first level certainly, but
no, that was the first level.
What was
the one that Roberto was just commenting on?
Arkhangelsk.
Arkhangelsk. Yeah.
Lummy, how do you pronounce it properly?
I'm the linguist of the group. Right, here we go.
Yes, you are.
You're always being a cunning linguist. Bomb line. Got it.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, very good.
Arkhangelsk.
I mean, the film itself has got so many good quotes in it, hasn't it? But
yeah, great film.
Let's move on.
My worst game based on a movie was, and again, I think this is probably up there in a lot of people's worst computer games. It was the NES 1989 version of Back to the Future, Beam Software, produced by LJN, and it was just fucking weird. It was just weird. He had to do a load of things that had nothing to do with the film whatsoever. It was basically one of those, it's like somebody had bought a game and gone, how can we make this as little to do with Back to the Future as possible, but yet we can still sell it with that franchise's name on it. It was just awful. The scene where he's skateboarding along, collecting bells, throwing milkshakes at Biff, trying to trying to stop love hearts that his mum is throwing at him from hitting him. It's just a fucking terrible game.
I mean, you would though. You would try and stop love hearts being thrown at you by your mum, wouldn't you? Unless it was your mum.
Oh, got
Sandra.
Whoa!
The first mum joke we were had on.
Second at the same time, and the fact is, my mum's probably watching this. That's the problem.
I know she's invited her.
I don't think she is.
Just hang on a minute. We've got a bit of a confirmation here. The graveyard mission was called Statue. Nice. Used to give me nightmares. That one super spooky soundtrack. Goldeneye N64 playlist. Yeah, nice. And then we've got this about you, Goldeneye, as well, from Rob. Hello, Rob. You all right?
Oh, that would be amazing. I'd be well up for that. Yeah.
Can we live stream it so we can watch?
That would be brilliant.
That'd be a good idea, actually. Yeah.
I get my dick slapped off in that
anybody's
game.
thought of doing that, like playing a game, but like putting it on the internet at the same time.
And do you know what? They can maybe do it without doing a commentary track with it as well, and just see how many views they get on their channel.
I know you're both having a dig.
Not that you put commentary tracks on your fucking computer game playthroughs.
Well, I can't.
Yeah.
Right, listen to me. I'll tell you why I don't do that. I'll tell you exactly why. I got, as you were talking about earlier, I got a couple of games for the PlayStation 4. One of them being the Harry Potter one. I thought, can go through this nice and easy, talk to people as we're doing it, have a bit of a laugh, do some voices, all that kind of shit. Then I realised I didn't have a PlayStation camera or thing I could plug in to do that. So that's why all the PS4 games are just without a commentary. But I am going to do some when I go on Steam. I can do it on there and put my webcam on and
webcam if you want.
Your webcam.
My webcam.
Your wet ass pussy cam.
Anyway, back to the Future game.
That's it.
No, I have. Do you actually want some trivia about this game? Because I do know something.
Yes, go for it.
You to defend it. Did you? You probably loved it.
No, I didn't. No. I'll tell you, the
we had to catch musical notes. I remember that as well at the school disco. It was They
brought out only in Japan. They brought out a Back to the Future 2 game that was really good, right? For the Super Famicom on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
They brought that out. That was a good game. But they did Back to the Future 2 on everything as well. That was pretty bad as well. And then Back to the Future 3, that was really hard as well. The first level was insane. You were on horseback as Doc Brown. So there's never really been a decent Back to the Future game, I don't think. So this one was just awful. And the thing is, right.
The Telltale ones, did you ever play them?
Oh, that was good. Sorry, yes. That was good.
I never played them.
I always forget that exists, but it was great. That but yeah, right. This screenshot here, then, so you can see.
All right, in it.
I don't know. Yeah, smash. That
oil for you, my wife.
Do you see what he's wearing though, Marty McFly? There, right? That black top.
Yeah.
Right. When the first cast Eric Stoltz in the film, that's the look he had, and what they did, they made this game with his look. And then he got fired, and they didn't bother changing the game. That's the rumor that's going around with this game.
Right. Okay.
There you go. But it's still shit. Still shit, the game.
Yeah, it's awful game. Yeah, so that was it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your.
I'm really interested about the point of the game being not to shag your mum.
Yeah.
That's easily enough. That's easily enough done, man. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No. And last week we told you that we were going to be having a retrospective look back at Ferris Bueller's Day Off, our film for the week. So those of you who did also have a little look at the film this week, feel free to join in. Even if you didn't watch it, you can still join in because you've all got memories, right? So, gentlemen, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What have we got to say about that? It's a John Hughes film. Yes, very good.
That's the title, in case anybody.
Just to get us in there, just to get us fired in.
Okay, so.
Oh, man. So, I've seen this film millions of times. I think Lummy has as well. Not sure how many times you've seen it, Gittins, but I mean, I grew up with it. And even when I put it on now, I could just close my eyes and I know every word. I just listen with a pinch of salt most of it.
That's a line.
So this time I was looking for things I've never really. I don't want to pull this film apart because I love it so much, but I came away this time with some questions, man.
Okay.
Tell people at home what the film's about. The title kind of gives it away a bit, but there might be some people out there, some people from a different planet or something that have never seen it.
Well, I think we can all safely say that we've all seen some sort of commentary or some sort of pastiche or tip of the hat to this film, whether it be the registration scene in the school right at the start, or whether it be the chase scene at the end, or whether it be or in the baseball ground and things like that.
There's the art gallery with the
art gallery,
the eye of the
little girl. Yeah.
Quite a few times. Family Guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's massively, it's
a huge pop culture film.
Yeah.
Luke, give it a watch.
Luke, give it a watch. It is a great film.
It's pretty well written.
Matthew Broderick. It is it's Baby from Dirty Dancing, which I completely forgot actually until I rewatched it.
Awesome quotes in it. Like it's got some really quotable lines. That's why most people like it.
Yeah.
But so essentially it's about a kid who decides to get himself So the film opens up with him pretending to be sick. His parents buy it. His sister doesn't buy it, and he then works on a scheme to get his best friend and his girlfriend out of school for the day to spend the day off fucking about in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the guide in case you never go back. People might need to know this shit.
You were talking so fast that
Go back to your clammy hands bit.
Hang on, right? So yeah, there he's in bed. There's his parents.
Faked his parents out.
There's his sister.
Yeah, and there's the list.
Mm.
So it's telling you there, don't go overboard.
So is this insanely sort of charismatic, very clever, very astute young man who's insanely popular, who manages to be popular amongst all these different sort of demographics within the school and actually, in fact, within the town as well? He's like kind of that kid that, you know, everyone wanted to be with, or you wanted to be. Do you know what I mean? He was that kid
that everybody wanted to be and nobody actually was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have all them things going, it's probably like 10 blokes in the world, like Ferris Bueller, that have got that combination of coming from a really well-off family, being really well loved by everybody apart from his own sister and his headmaster, you know. And it's a bit of a rare.
Do you know what I love about this film, though? I mean, I love the way it's filmed, and I love the devices they use throughout it. Like, it breaks the fourth wall all the way through the film.
Yeah.
Now, way before Deadpool made it.
Oh, it's a really tricky thing to do well, that as well, I think. And it does it so well in this.
Broderick is brilliant at that.
Yeah.
He excels at it. You totally believe him, you know.
Yeah. Well, actually, okay, so I haven't rewatched it last Sunday for the first time in, I think, maybe 5 or 6 years. The first thing that struck me was this kid is a great actor. He was 21 when he played this role. He's playing, what, a 17-year-old in it?
Right.
He was 17, 18. He's about to go, he's finished his last year at school.
Enough,
as is his sister, who turns out is his twin in the
guy
film.
who played Cameron, his best mate. They were mates from working
28
together.
or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 29 or so, yeah. But they were mates already from working on Broadway together.
Yeah, it was only his girlfriend that was actually playing the correct age. She was.
Well, they did a play, didn't they? I think Bioxy Blues, is it? The play.
That's it. Yeah,
Blues,
Biloxi Blues before it became a film. Yeah,
that's a brilliant film. Christopher Walken's in that. Have you seen that, Lummy?
Yeah.
I love that. Anyway,
so this kid's insanely popular, and he decides that he is going to have a day off school, and the film basically unravels it. It basically tells the story of his day off, and all of the sort of roadblocks that might almost get in the way and things like that.
Also, there's an element of sort of like Ferris is kind of a put on screen as like a magical kind of character. It doesn't do magic, but it seems like he engineered this day from the start. Everything
he touches turns to gold, isn't it?
Yeah, so he convinces his best friend to steal his dad's priceless Ferrari.
Yeah,
they go to his house and they take his car.
I've got stills of all this. Do you want to?
Go for it. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, go through it, Lummy.
I mean, I was going to talk. I was going to go in order, won't we? But
go for it. No. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Go for it, Lummy.
Right. So you go back to that then. So you meet his mate, don't you, Cameron? There we go. Right. Then you meet the principal of the school, Edward.
Yes. Real life. Sex register signing.
Yeah, which kind of sours the film a little bit on a second watch.
It does a little bit, doesn't it, when you find out that guy is a registered sex offender.
He's called Jeffrey Jones, the actor, isn't he? And he's in quite a few. He's in one of my favourite John Candy films as well, which I hate the fact that he's in this. Who's Harry Crumb? He's in that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love that film. And I'm like, every time I watch it, I'm like, and then his secretary as well.
He's in Sleepy Hollow. He was in Beetlejuice.
Yes, he was.
And then, strangely enough, around about 2002, if you look on IMDb, not in a lot.
Disappears.
At that point onwards.
Yeah.
Which is when
you've got his secretary as well, who's really funny. I like her.
She's brilliant.
John Hughes Stalwart as well is that lady. She's in a couple of his movies, isn't she? She's the Planes and Trains and Automobile car rental lady. Yeah.
Then you've got I'll just go through for you. Right, so this was
an empty car.
I got that still because this was I was just going to say about the shots in this film. Right, there's some
Here's
stuff.
an empty car seat. Here's a
No, look behind him. Look behind the car. Cheeky bastards. Look behind the car, right? He jumps up and down behind the car. Do you remember?
Yeah.
When it's going mad. That's
Yeah.
not the kind of shot you'd usually put in a film. That's why I love this film.
No,
It's
you're
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
And that's why I picked it. Well, I picked another shot here. This teacher cracks me up.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've got him, and you've got
use of the prison.
and him.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
This guy, like the legend is when they were filming the scene, this guy was an improvisational actor, and the crew gave him a round of applause after that scene.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's a famous one, isn't he? The Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller.
Yeah, that's
Bueller.
the first famous thing from the film.
They asked him to do something boring. He used to be a teacher, so he pulled out something from the back of his mind about voodoo economics, and he does that whole bit about, and it's all the reactions are brilliant. Yeah,
So that is it. I mean, I don't know if you've got any shots of any stills of the kids when they are. That's a wrong thing to say when we're talking. Yeah, it's just the look. There's so many really awkward shots of so many of these kids sat in this classroom just chewing gum and just really fast asleep, really bored. Yeah, it does set the tone beautifully.
It's very John Hughesy. Pans around it. Yeah, it's good.
So then you get to where he rings. Cameron rings up Ed Rooney, doesn't he, and puts his voice on.
Pretending to be the father of Bueller's girlfriend. Yeah. Sloan, that's
Sloan
it.
Peterson, Mr. Peterson.
Yeah. And then they have the first fallout because he starts to go a bit too far with the impression, doesn't he? And he starts saying, "Actually, I've changed my mind. I want you outside the school with her." And so Ferris kicks him in the butt, and then you see the little bit of their lovely friendship where he's like, Ben Stein. I was thinking,
wow, I had no idea.
Thank
you very much for that.
Then you see the bit of their lovely friendship where he's like, "Why did you kick me?" And he goes, "What does he say? Where's your mind at? Where's your brain?
Where's your brain?
Why did you kick me?" And he goes, "Where's your brain?" He says, "I asked you first." They have this little pissy like best friend. Because they always say like, you know, if you don't do what I want within 5 minutes, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah. So basically, the headmaster, he is calling the bluff on the phone call. He's like, "There's no way that this is really Sloane's father," and he starts being quite abusive to him on the phone. And then the other phone rings, and
Ferris Bueller's online too.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh my god!" No. He starts really apologizing to Sloane's dad.
This is how smart this 80s kid is, guys. He's figured out call waiting and everything.
He lives life like a big Jess, doesn't he? He lives life like a Jess. He's always thinking 2 moves ahead of everybody that he's playing.
Yeah. I mean, guys, I don't know if are we gonna go right through the movie?
No, we don't need to do
30 minutes in or something. And so basically, cut a long story short a bit, he manages to pull off a trick of getting his best friend to stop lying around in his own bed, feeling sorry for himself and feeling poorly because he's a hypochondriac, and come over and pick him up and get his girlfriend out so that he can not only hang out with his best friend, but if he wants to like have a little dalliance with his missus during the day, he can do whatever he wants. He's a smart cookie.
And there's that awkward scene when he comes. Yeah, they come to pick up Sloane from school. They come to pick up Sloane from school.
I've got you.
There you go.
You covered.
Ferrari.
That's the car. Then he goes and disguises
himself.
Now
this is the really weird. This is the bit in the film where I'm like, this kid's really clever. Why would he risk everything? So basically, he pretends to be Sloane's father. She comes out of school. The head teacher is stood on the steps. Make sure she sort of goes okay after sort of insulting her dad. Sort of allegedly insulting her dad. And then she gets out of the car, and Ferris, as her dad, starts snogging his daughter. Now, look, I mean, the head teacher in real life would probably like that, but like they're really tonguing at it.
I can explain why that happens, because when you sit down to watch a John Hughes movie, you accept a little bit of Hollywood magic in there. You can't get through Ferris Bueller without it, because that's not the only time where something fucking ridiculously unbelievable happens. It happens all the time. It happens in Plane, Trains and Automobiles, Home Alone. It happens in all of his movies. It's just that bit of like, I'm going to do this because I want to. And I've looked at that so many times, and all the head teacher goes, he sort of goes to himself, Oh, so that's what it's like in their family. And he goes back in. But yeah, obviously, it then starts gestating in his brain as something that's not right. But you never hear him explain it or try and get an explanation.
Yeah. It just seems like a really rookie mistake, right? For this really clever. But yeah, that is pretty like criticism.
But I think that's another thing. It's Ferris Bueller's nature to not just be the person that shows up to pick his own girlfriend up to the headmaster, but then to take off at fucking 70 miles an hour in somebody else's Ferrari, speeding down. It's totally unbelievable. Excuse me. But
so then they take it to the go into the city, basically leave the car with these guys at the garage.
I had a couple of things I wanted to say. Right, we all know what they do in Chicago. Yeah, how expensive is this day out, man? He parks that Ferrari, gives the guy a tip. He parks that car in that place all day. God knows how much that costs in Chicago, central Chicago. They go to a Cubs game, which is you're talking. That's not cheap. They go to some fancy schmancy dinner place.
Restaurant,
the Sears Tower. There you go. The Sears Tower's not free. I assume the chat. Like, how much does it cost him just to entertain, just to get away with shit on his day off?
I mean, the art gallery is free. There you go.
I love that shot. That's a great shot as well.
That is beautiful. Not necessarily though. They're like works of art in there. It might not be. It might be monetized.
Free. No, it's
free.
Museums are free.
They take taxis all over
this country. They are in this country. They are, and abroad they're not.
But that's
abroad. That generic term. Abroad. Everywhere abroad, they're not.
I did some digging, guys. Right, and I found two things.
The price guide to the.
One thing is Ferris Bueller. I don't know if you've looked at his house. They're loaded. They're absolutely loaded. It could be that he's just got money lying around all over the place, or there was a deleted scene, Lummy. I don't know if you know about this one, where he's on the phone to his dad when he's still home, and he fleeces his dad over the phone. And he knows his dad's got saving bonds hidden in the house somewhere, and he manages to get his dad to tell him where they are. By accident, his dad accidentally slips up and tells him they're in a shoebox in his closet.
Is this true?
True story. They took it out because obviously it made it look like he's a bad guy, and he robbed his dad, which he did in the original. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times during this film where I do question whether I'd want to be Ferris Bueller's friend.
Oh, yeah, but...
We're turning on him now. We started off going, what a guy.
No, it's brilliant. No.
Wait a minute. No. This guy's an asshole.
Look at it from the other point, though, Lummy. He's sociopathic, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He forces his friend to do what he wants at the whim of what he wants. His girlfriend doesn't really seem to put up
I've never liked him.
But this is what I mean. It's still an amazing film. It's still a beautiful film. But on this time round, I was watching it, picking up on those little things like, But
it's like the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, really, isn't it? You're not supposed to like him, but you do.
So a perfect example of why you shouldn't like Ferris is while his mates are all trying to rally round for support at school, he's fucking around all day doing what he wants.
Massively entitled. Like when he's we'll get to the bit when he's at the restaurant. But yeah, carry on to me.
Right, so I got a shot of the car going over here because we said it made me laugh this when I watched it again because we said last week let's mix it up. We won't be doing Star Wars.
And it's got the Star Wars thing.
You can't get away from it. You can't get away from Star Wars no matter how hard you try. But the number plate on it says nervous as well. That's It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked that shot though. I thought it was good. And the guy's joy on the fist when they're flying over.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So anyway, they go through scripts, they get in the restaurant, all that. That's another bit what you're talking about, Nath, I guess, where he looks across and then,
Yeah, that's another really weird scene. That's another really weird scene. So he looks across. He sees briefly his son in a car. So and then he looks across again, and suddenly it's Sloan with sunglasses on. And Cameron and Ferris have dropped to the sort of the wheel bit in the foot. What's it called? Foot basin or whatever it's called in the car. Foot basin.
That is what they're called.
Yeah, foot basin, right?
I need a new foot basin in my car, actually, just reminding me.
Well, there you go. And it's that thing again. There's Ferris potentially screwing up the plan by tickling his girlfriend and making her laugh and things like that. You know, it's
Not
just
only that, right? What happens when he takes her home to meet his dad?
yeah.
What's the end game in her flirting with his boyfriend's dad? Like,
I hate to tell you this, but we've met before. Yeah.
No, she's got
to flirt with me.
She's got movie shades on, which everybody knows. She's put a pair of glasses on.
Disguise, yeah.
Superman.
If Superman can get away with putting a pair of specs on when he looks like he does, then
a pair of specs.
A pair of specs. I can't talk tonight.
No, he's got two pairs. That was his pair of specs.
I think he'd get his butt kicked if he tried it in Leeds.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a good job.
Anyway, yes, I questioned the logic in trying to get your dad to shag your
fancy your sister, daughter, girlfriend, sister, daughter, girlfriend. Fucking hell.
But anyway,
it's a family business.
Yeah, it is a family business. Well, actually, it is a family business because Broderick ended up having a relationship with the girl who played his sister in real life. And his mum and dad in the film got married in real life after the film and then got divorced sometime in the 90s.
Are you following these people?
Yeah, I was at the wedding. Also, there's a controversy about Broderick and his girlfriend, the girl who played his sister. I can't remember her name, but she was she was Baby in Dirty Dancing. They got into an accident. They got into an accident when they were driving in Ireland, and they got into a car crash and ended up killing the two of the people in the car. And he was potentially going to be put in jail for 5 years. Yeah. And he ended up getting away with having to pay $175 fine.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Wow.
I'd read about that. I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah, it's
sorry, lower the tone.
This is
but you're right. It's
talking about an amazing film and to try and turn the whole world off. Just give them many reasons.
So but you're right. It's got even knowing paedophile in it, and it's got a murderer in it.
You're right. Right. When you do know this stuff, though, you watch it back, don't you, and think about it when it's on. And you're like, he's killed a man. He's killed a man.
The mother of all this, the mother that I noticed. Right, you're talking about while he's in Chicago, all his friends at school are rallying round to save up enough money to send him a hooker. Is that even legal? Is that even legal? He said, I'm the nurse who likes to... Not only that, the weirdest thing about that is that even legal? What the hell are the two fat guys doing with her? Is it customary to send two fat guys to a fuck party for a child? What
hang on. Whoa.
Chris knows.
I know this. When you pay for this kind of no, there's a guy holding some balloons. They've all turned up. They're all different delivery people who've turned up at the same time. Nathan, did you not watch the film?
I guessed it really. I just thought, but why is she still trying to? She's not ashamed about being a prostitute.
She won't be in that line of work. She's doing a service. She's doing a good job. She's a pro.
I got the impression
I'm not shaming sex workers. I didn't realise
is she a sex worker or is she a kissogram?
She's a kissogram. She's just saying that. I mean,
she says it.
She says it, but she don't mean it.
Because I'm a nurse that likes to blank.
Yeah, but she doesn't.
Now, if it wasn't going to be that, she would have said, I came to do something that rhyme with hiss because I'm
cook. I'm the nurse who likes to cook. I'm going to come and make you soup. You're feeling poorly.
Maybe it's my filthy mind.
Wrap a hot towel around your head.
Yeah, I mean, don't feel free though. If I ever get ill, guys, have a whip round. Send me a dog.
You'll get the balloon one. You'll get the big guy.
Thanks, man. But yeah.
Right. Okay. Where were we? So we talked about the car with Dad and all that, right? So in this time, Rooney keeps coming back to him. He's trying to get in the house, and he rings the doorbell.
So by this point, he has decided that Ferris Bueller is lying. How is it that he comes to that conclusion? I can't remember. Why does he decide he's lying? What is it that happens?
There's a deleted scene where he turns around and goes, "He's lying."
The thing is, none of the stuff that Ferris actually does anything to dissuade the guy from the fact that, like, you know.
Well, apart from pretending to be her dad, and then making that other phone call as well, being Ferris.
Leaving the flipping door alarm, the tape recording, that if you press the button, it plays the full message, but then if you press the button again, it plays exactly the same message.
Yeah.
That's when he starts to really know what's right.
But why does he go round to his house? I can't remember. Why does he go round? Because
he says
but why does he? But why does he stop believing him?
Because he hates him.
Why does he stop believing him? Because up until that point, he was believing him.
I don't know.
I don't know, actually. He just kind of makes the decision. It's not explained.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what else? Whenever they meet, there's only one person talking. Whenever you see Rooney meet Ferris, there's only one of them talking. They never have a dialogue.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
I thought that was quite interesting. I thought it was quite a cool little thing. It was
They only meet once anyway, don't they, at the end?
I don't know. No?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. It's only at the end when he's at the back door.
Still true.
It's true. It's true, but yeah. I'm waiting for these extra scenes. Every time they meet, they don't say. Every time they meet, they're not in a scene together.
Ah, that explains it.
That's true.
So Rooney goes round to try and catch Ferris bunking off school, basically.
Well, this is an unrelated photo. That's just from the police inquiry.
Yeah, that's from the school gates.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. No, not allegedly. He was found.
All right.
That was
all right. Yeah, but that's not the real photo. That's
a bit of a shit cup you're drinking out of.
Oh, don't! She's already texted me to say she's really happy that I'm drinking out of it.
Oh,
I love your cup. I just thought you made way too.
Show us it again. I put the picture up there. I don't know if we saw it. Is it? Yeah. There you go. It's that.
Something. I don't know what he was worried about.
It was worried because it said
really
11 on it.
Is that a waffle? Is that a waffle on it?
It's an Eggo.
She eats them in the.
Oh God! Of course she does. Yeah. Of course she does.
Have you even seen what it? Do you know what it is?
Shit geek. Shit.
Why is this cup got a number on it? Why is it saying 11?
You can see the guy who came up with the design for that.
Because there's 10 other of them.
The guy brought the cup into the boardroom. He says, "This is my idea. This is my design. It's an Eggo with the word 11 across it."
And someone went, "I don't get it."
Put Stranger Things under that. Other people are going to think you're a weirdo drinking out of a cup with something written on it. You div.
I'm drinking out of it.
Drinking out. What's he drinking though? Like children's tears? Is that what you're drinking?
Salty tears.
Yeah. He always drinks his tears with a pinch of salt.
As we all do. There's
totally believable bit.
This is a bit that I did struggle with.
Well, last time me and Lummy went to Leeds, which was a long time ago, I did say to him, "I'm just going to go for a wee," and then instead of going for a wee, I ended up in a massive parade float. And I called him out. It's just natural shit when you do with your mates in town.
He did do that, and I were looking around, going, "Where's he gone?" He said he was going to, and then all of a sudden,
you saw me, and you were like,
you're going to get
I'm
caught.
going to marry him one day, right?
And then he ran off and talked to 2 other people.
Yeah.
Just said that, which I have got a picture of that later. We'll get to that. But yeah, of Nath doing that in town.
So this is the scene that, although Paul McCartney gave the rights to the production company to have Twist and Shout, he actually
Paul McCartney was completely mad. So he gave him the rights. Then the film,
and he enjoyed the film.
Yeah, but he said
because Beatles songs are notoriously
the brass is incidental. It happens in the film, and they're playing along with the track.
Yeah, and he hated it.
Yeah, he said if we wanted brass on the track, we would have put it on there.
Yeah.
That wasn't attempted to be.
No, do it, Lummy. What did he say?
We're going to say. He's not going
to do it. He's not going to do it. He refused the opportunity to do an impression.
Do John Lennon or something instead.
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. I can't do Paul McCartney.
Oh, you did all of the Beatles last week.
I could do that one. What was that?
Ringo.
Ringo. Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas the Tank Engine Beatles.
Thomas the Tank Engine was pulling into the station. He gave the other engine a big shunt right up its buffer. There you go. That's the only Beatle I do. Can't do the others.
Oh,
Anyway,
what I'm gonna say. Right, so this is what I'm gonna say. The Beatles songs are notoriously expensive out there to put in movies, so that you've answered the question really. If we had it as a deal, but I don't get this because this is like lip sync to me. I've never liked this
This
bit.
is the bit I didn't like about it. Yeah, exactly that.
It's like he's not singing. Why is he not singing the song? He's lip syncing. Anybody could be up there doing that.
And they are all cheering him, the whole crowd, and all of the dancers on the float. They're all treating him as though he is singing these songs.
Yeah. What's weird about it is why do I like it as well? Like we're still watching it. I still think it's a great bit, even though
I don't like it.
No, I don't. It is the bit of the film I don't like.
I think it's fine. I don't even mind the spontaneous street dance that breaks out in unison when people just show up and start dancing. Like
At exactly the same time.
The bit where the guy flips, I do like that bit. Just out of nowhere. And he flips over the crowd, doesn't he? That's good.
It had, that had Blues Brothers kind of vibes about it. Yeah.
I suddenly had to think, is that in the Blues Brothers?
Very similar bits.
Yeah, they are.
The one where they're outside Ray. What's he called? Ray
Charles?
Yeah, that's it. I could only think because of the film. I could only think of Ray. I'm like, I can see the dude with his sunglasses on. But anyway, they're outside his shop, aren't they? And just have a big dance, and I'm like, I don't mind it. I love it. I liked Blues Brothers for the same reasons as well.
Yeah. Good.
It is a bit out of nowhere.
Right then. So Jeannie goes back to the house, and she has a bit of a confrontation with. Oh no, she doesn't yet. Does she? She goes back and hears that there's an intruder in the house, Rooney. And there's she kicks him in the face, doesn't she? That's it. Yeah. She does have a bit of a, and then she rings the police and she goes to the police station. So I've got a picture of that in a minute.
Meanwhile, that's a great call as well. That's a lovely little bit of acting that she does on the phone to the police there.
Where she's saying that she's cute.
Very protective of my body, and she's really good.
Yeah, it's good. So they go get the car back, and they're like, "Oh, it looks all right. It's fine." Then on the way back in the car, he looks at the speedometer, and he's like, "Uh-oh."
And in an earlier scene, we've actually seen the two guys like really race when they're with the Star Wars thing and all that. That was the two car park attendants, and they have rinsed it 300 miles.
Yeah, so he freaks out, Cameron, and he's like laid comatose, and then they've got him outside at pool, aren't they, on a chair, and he falls in, and Ferris has to jump in and save him, and then he wakes up and goes, "Ferris Bueller, you're my hero." Yeah, and that's that bit. We all laugh and go, "Ha ha!
You fooled him."
And it's kind of the one time you see Ferris kind of like, you got that right,
for you, man, because I missed this bit and I've seen the film quite a lot and I still don't know whose pool is it.
Ooh, I reckon it's. Hang on, let's think about this.
It's not Ferris's because otherwise he'd be at home at the end of the film. Won't need to run.
It must be Cameron's. Is it one of
Cameron's? Because they've gone to Cameron's house, aren't they?
No, I don't think it is.
How do you know?
I've just got this feeling it's weird because, right, my logic is if you had a pool at your house, you'd have a cabana or something with you change of clothes. You wouldn't have to go in your underwear. So if it was Sloane's pool, she'd be wearing a bikini or a swimsuit, not that frilly undershirt thing. You know,
that's why I think it's Cameron's.
It's Cameron's because then you've got the car scene again after this.
The house,
exactly that.
The back of the house looks like an old, like a Kevin. It looks more like Kevin McAllister's house than it looks like Cameron's house. Cameron's house is a glass box. It's a concrete and glass box.
Yeah, I get that, but it doesn't show the sides of that glass box. If
you look
right, I've got it. Right, knowing I've got it. Knowing how Ferris is, surely it's just some random's pool that he went and said he were going to clean it for him, and he's just gone in and had a dip.
Well, yeah, because you're talking about a guy that even in his worst hour, when he's trying to race home to stop his parents catching him out, and to stop his teacher catching him out, and stop everybody catching him out, he's got time to chat two birds up in the back of a garden.
I reckon it's some random's pool, and he's just gone round, and he's like, do you know, like what is it, Beverly Hills Cop, or second one, where he takes over the guy's house and has a pool.
I'm not saying it's not that. I was just wondering if either of you knew, because I was watching it this time going, hang on, where the hell are they and whose pool is it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Who knows? We don't know. We don't med assault. We've got salt for brains.
Come on, you salt for brains.
Right, okay, here we go. All right. Salt for brains. Right, Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen then in the station.
Charlie Sheen had to stay up for 84 days before he filmed this, and he didn't sleep at all. I'm making it up. 48 hours. Yeah, he kept himself awake for 48 hours to just look like shit for a bit.
Yeah, I quite like that scene. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
Going back to what Rich said, that is a big thing to me. I didn't know that, but are we saying that they broke up because they ran over somebody?
No, they had. I mean, I think the fall. I don't know specifically why they broke up. I'm imagining. No, there's nothing allegedly. They had a car crash in Ireland, and the mother, the driver, and her mother were instantly killed in the crash.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to Google it?
I don't know. I don't know if I dare, because I don't want to. I don't like to think that a Hollywood person could pay £175 to get away with
$175.
Oh, that is true. He did do it, but I don't know who it was with.
Fault was it?
No, it was with her.
Was
they
it?
were together. They were together driving in Ireland. Yeah.
Right.
But whose fault was it? Is what I mean.
He was driving on the wrong side of the road. He was driving on the right hand side of the road.
It says here, I've just looked, it's literally Google comes straight up. Broderick collided with an oncoming car driven by Anna Gallagher, 28. She and her mother, 6-year-old Margaret Doherty, were killed. Broderick, a New York resident, was treated in hospital in Belfast for a fractured leg. Fined $175. You're right, Jennifer Gray. Yeah, you're right. That's her, isn't it? Yeah, she was with him. Wow. $175.
Oh, I nearly said bargain then, but that was really in poor taste.
Let's have a look at it.
I don't know.
Let's get the next slide. So
yeah, let's do it.
They go back to Cameron's garage, and he has a bit of it. He kicks the front of the car in basically first.
Finally, he has enough.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, I'm not afraid anymore. Because he's like, look, I'm sure because they're trying to reverse the car. So they got the car up on a jack and it's reversing, and they're trying to reverse the mileage on the clock. Doesn't work. And Ferris is like, look, it's all right. What we'll do, we'll take the front off the panel. We'll just wind the clock back. It'll be okay. And Cameron's like, no, fuck this. And he just starts kicking the shit out of his dad's car. And he's like, no, I'm standing up for myself. Yeah. And then he kicks it, and he kicks it, and he kicks it one too many times. Go on.
No, he doesn't. He stops kicking it, and he's about to kick it once more. And then he just leans on it.
Oh, yeah,
he leans on it. That's the best thing about it.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what you get.
It falls off the jack and still reversing, and it goes flying out of the window into the woods below.
Yeah,
to an Irish person and a mum.
We've moved on. We've moved on from that.
It didn't happen in the film.
No,
you get it out of head, Broderick. What's going on? I need an explanation.
Matthew Broderick didn't kick it though, so he wasn't responsible for this one.
No.
So that's all.
He's responsible for everything in this.
Yeah, he made him steal the fucking car in the first place.
You're right. Yeah.
Guilty
by association.
I'm going to come around and steal shit from your houses, but
so what happens anymore? What happens to Cameron at that point?
So Cameron says, "I'm going to deal with this. It's on me." And then you never find out what happens to Cameron.
No.
Who knows? Right. So then
that's for a reason as well. Because it's all about that catharsis for Cameron being able to say, "Doesn't matter what happens. I've got this now. I've got this."
Yeah. You don't need to know. All you need to know is he's got it. Yeah.
You stealing my father's car and taking me out for a fantastic, lovely day off is all. It's all I need. All I need. Even though I won't be in this boat, it doesn't matter about that. I won't be in this boat without you fucking my life up. But it doesn't matter about that.
Do you reckon when his dad got home though, he changed his mind and went, "Ferris did it"?
Yeah, when he got home, when his mum and dad got home, his dad goes into the lounge, goes to the drinks cabinet, gets a whiskey, and he turns around and Cameron's there with a shotgun, blows his fucking face off. Just had enough. Living in your marble prison.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ash. Right. Then basically there's a scene with Sloane and Ferris, and she says, "I'm going to marry him," and he runs off. And that's when you get the
bad. She don't run off. He don't run off because she says that.
he looks at her watch and goes, "I've got to run off. I've got to go."
Yeah, but he's not like. She's not like, I'm going to marry you one day, and he's like, "I'm out of here."
I'm out of here. So then you get the big chase sequence that's been parodied. Not chase sequence, run home sequence that's been parodied loads and stuff.
Yeah.
And this shot here, what I grabbed because I knew we'd talk about it, where he jumps over these two ladies and comes back and talks to them in the middle of his running to get home.
What the hell are they? Hang on, put it back a second. Why are they in bikinis? But they're in the frigging shade. I've never noticed that before.
They're not in the shade.
There's no sun on them.
There is sun on them there.
There's sun on the grass below them, but not on them.
Dude,
all right. Okay.
Behind them. Look at where the shadows are.
The sun is behind them. The sun's behind them. He's coming in the direction of the sun. Yeah.
Maybe they fell asleep. What he should have done is been really nice and stopped, and instead of chatting them up, he should have gone, "Hi, I'm Ferris Bueller. Do you realise the sun's gone in? You're going to get a cold."
No, it's there, isn't it? Top left, the sun. What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have made if they'd have had the back.
It's gone away. It's come out now. So
you mean they can film when the sun's gone out? What?
Candles to go around, everyone. So see you in the morning. Sunrise.
I don't understand.
How many candles? Did you say candles?
4 candles.
16.
Very good.
Very
nice.
So he's doing this run home. He's trying to get home before his dad and before everyone else.
Right, and his dad, they get Jeannie and her mum are in the car together out there from the police thing, and they get chased by cops again to pull them over. So everybody's getting delayed to give him more time. Obviously, I've got this still here. I love this bit. Where the little old ladies driving car, and this is what I like about John Hughes films. There's so many good little characters in it.
Yeah.
If you were in one of those films, it would not be a throwaway part, would it? You'd be in there going, I'm in a John Hughes film and I've got actually a decent, even the teachers earlier, though, in what way?
Oh, even the kids who are sat doing nothing, being bored. They're so prominently featured in those roles. Yeah. It's brilliant.
I mean, you could make convention money. Like that. It's all right. Nobody noticed you fell over.
Really good at picking naturalistic actors, even in an unnatural, an unnaturalistic setting. Like, for example, with his dad, who's behind that old lady in the car. He's just really passive aggressive, isn't he? To her.
Yeah.
She finally pulls off and gets out of the way, and it's like, he's a nice guy. Like,
he's in. I just remembered he's in Planes, Trains, Automobiles right at the start as well.
Is he?
He's Steve Martin's office worker buddy who gets in live with him. Just remembered.
Maybe John Hughes was just lazy.
He uses who he likes. It's like Tim Burton, isn't it, with Johnny Depp? I mean, you find somebody you enjoy working with, you do it. That's why this is my last show. I'm nice. That was a joke. Keep me on it.
You're out of the band.
Oh, just for laugh, chuckles. Come on, buddy. I'll just play the I've known you ages card. Know you too. Know you too. Right, so Ferris gets home.
Gremlins for you. Let me in.
He finds the key. He looks for the key under the mat and it's not there. And Rooney steps in and goes, "I got you, Ferris. I finally got you." Which that just reminded me.
He's really invested, isn't he, in catching this kid?
Yeah, I love that. I just remembered the line from earlier. Where she said, "Ed, you sounded like Dirty Harry then."
Yeah. Really?
We used to say that to each other, Webb, all the time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Ooh, you sounded just like it's great.
What? You really think so?
Now we've discovered this, to me, new information about Jeffrey Jones. It puts a whole more sinister aspect on the fact that he's chasing a 17-year-old around. He ends up in his house and everything.
Yeah, and his sister really did have something to... Well, no, they're way too old. And then, inexplicably, or maybe I missed something, his sister, who has spent the whole film trying to make sure that Ferris doesn't get away. She's the whole film resentful of the fact that he's been so popular. Suddenly she's like,
dude,
nah, family.
Because You know what this is like. You've got family yourself. If somebody slags your family,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
that's like the worst thing in the world. If you do it, it's all right. So it's all right for her to hate her brother and her to catch him out.
Also, she had the heart to heart with the guy with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
I did wonder that, but I thought that had been.
That's my favourite line for people who haven't seen it. It's worth it just for the bit where she's in the police station. Yeah. Charlie Sheen's sat in there and he's going, "So what did you do to get in there?" And she tells him the story, bits of the story. "I hate my brother, blah, blah, blah." And he finally goes, "What did they call you? What's your name?" And she goes, "My name's Jeannie, but most people call me Shauna." And then he goes, "Shauna." And just like she plucked Shauna out of thin air to sound cool. It's really funny. I love that bit. I think she's my favourite in it, actually. She's good as Jennifer Grey.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah. She's not didn't really do much, did she, as well? After, I mean, I don't know what else really. She's
Dirty Dancing.
Lead to Dirty Dancing?
No, obviously Dirty Dancing, but yeah. Dirty Dancing was before this, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. That's what I just asked you.
I think it was.
I'm not sure. We'll have to check that out. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Right. So then she saves the day, basically. He gets in. Runs up to the room and he manages to get back in bed, but then his sound system's still on. He gets the Cubs ball out that he caught at the stadium and throws it at the machine. It turns it off, and then he lays back like that.
Gives you some really cool advice about how to live your life like him.
Yeah. Choose life.
That's it. He ends it by lining, "Choose life. Choose a big fucking television and heroin. Choose daytime TV and everything. You fucking." That's not the right film, Lummy. You're mixing your films again.
I know. I've already done Blues Brothers once. then there's a big police chase at the end, and he puts some dark shades on and goes, "It's 500 miles to Chicago."
Now, this is a cool film. It's got another John Hughes sort of device in it, which is like, it's one of those films where you're forced to sit and watch the credits because there's still something going on. Not just at the end of the credits. Ed Rooney gets on the bus. He has to get the bus home at the end of the world.
Brilliant. This is a brilliant ending to a film.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
With all the snot-nosed kids covered in shit and blood and whatever he's been through that day, and he has to sit next to them while the music plays, and it's wonderful. Great.
And then
it's one of my favourite ends to a film. It's brilliant.
We've got long before the Avengers and all them did it.
Yeah, long before you. Yep.
Yeah.
Got that.
More fourth wall breaking right at the end of the film. Ferris Bueller personally turns up and tells you to get the fuck out of his film.
Yeah.
Get out! What are you doing?
Ferris Bueller was 87. Sorry, Ferris
Bueller was 87 when he made this.
Yeah,
remarkably young.
Ferris Bueller was 1990. And Dirty Dancing was 87. So Dirty Dancing was first.
Ferris Bueller was mid-80s, dude. You're not looking at Ferris Bueller, the TV show.
Right, I'm looking at Ferris Bueller, the TV show. I did think it was late. 86. So Ferris Bueller was the year before.
Oh, wow.
The other day, when I was doing a bit of research, with Jennifer Aniston was playing Jeannie in it before she was famous. And there's a clip of her being Jeannie, basically. She's not that bad, but you can tell that it stinks. Like, it's not going to be a good TV show, but she's not that bad with the bitchy older sister.
There were a Bill and Ted series as well they tried, weren't they? And that just
have
you got? What really struck me about this film was that, although, and I was talking to Webby about this during the week, that although it is Broderick's in the title role, it is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it struck me that the film isn't about him. The film's about Cameron and, to an extent, his sister as well. Because Bueller, like, the point of the film is that your character goes on an arc, it goes on some sort of journey, and Ferris doesn't. He starts the film exactly the way as he finishes the film, whereas Cameron and his sister are two characters. Cameron, Jeannie to a lesser extent, but Cameron has this huge character arc that he goes through. And it's just kind of like it's a day in the life of Cameron told through Ferris's eyes.
There's a whole argument. I don't know if anybody's seen this. I don't think there's much merit to it, but some people have said that Ferris Bueller's basically got a lot more in common with Fight Club than you think, and that Ferris Bueller doesn't exist and is a figment of Cameron's imagination. Now, other people have said it's the other way around. and that Ferris Bueller exists and Cameron doesn't. So it's just stupid bullshit that people talk about. But yeah, that's out there. There's little videos on it and all sorts. But yeah, it's a Tyler Durden thing, and he's not really.
Have you got anything else? Did you want to say something, Webby, about some other info you had on it or not?
I think I managed to bring it all up mostly while we were talking about it.
Right, because I've got something here, right? And I don't know if you guys know this, but I found this out when I was looking at Ferris Bueller stuff. Now, this is insane, right? Are you ready for this? Hopefully you don't know about it. Right, we talked about John Hughes, didn't we? Cutting films down and all this stuff and extra things when we talked about a little bit about planes, trains, automobiles and that. Right, there was 2 other Bueller kids in the original.
They had kid brother and sister.
Right.
Smaller,
so here you go. So this is the sister, the younger sister, right?
Yeah, they got cut out. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the brother as well. And
I think it was almost an hour longer. The original cut.
The only reason I found them images because I watched the trailer that were on YouTube, and they're in the trailer.
There is one with the minute, and also if you look, when you're watching the scenes when they're at home in the sort of communal areas of their house, there's kids' artwork on the fridge and stuff like that.
Right. I just didn't know if you knew about it because I literally saw that and I was like, what? What is this?
I didn't know about that. I know that legend has it that it took John Hughes a week to write the script. Yeah, considering all the things we've mentioned that might not be perfect about this movie, and maybe that's why they're perfect because it wasn't that polished. But also, wonderfully, it's still out. You know,
the relation it never gets referred to in the film as such, but it's thought that that Ferris and his sister are twins. Because they're both in the same year at school.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Right.
But it never gets mentioned at all in it.
I wonder which one the easiest
I just some of this stuff's so interesting, isn't it, when you dig into it.
Crazy, yeah.
And John Hughes, he's so prolific. I mean, there's every chance that we're going to end up looking at Breakfast Club or something like that in a future week. But next week's film is we're going to go back to the Star Wars series, and we are going to go to Attack of the Clones. So if you want to join in this chat next week, feel free to watch Attack of the Clones, and then you can have an informed. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I'm sure you can all remember what Attack of the Clones is like, but we are going to watch it with a fresh pair of eyes, 3 fresh pairs of eyes, and we're going to have a retrospective next week.
I don't know how fresh mine am I going to be with all this salt in them.
And we're going to try and pull out as many positives as we can about Attack of the Clones, but we'll see.
We are going to try. Believe it or not, I love Ferris Bueller. When you watch this back, it might not seem that way. I just found a few things that I thought were interesting about it, little potholes, and the fact that it still fucking works. That's all you need. There's no such thing as a perfect movie, So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great film. There's so many good things about it. And like I said earlier about the way it's filmed and the little cutaways and all that. I love all that stuff in it.
Do you know I'm not sure if they've released a version of it since, but John Hughes didn't want the soundtrack released.
Oh, right, yeah. Obviously, I know my soundtrack. You guys know this.
It doesn't go together. It doesn't work. It works in the film, but it doesn't work as a soundtrack at all.
The finally released the score by Ira Newborn. They finally brought it out, and it is all little cues, as you can tell from the film. There's all little, there's no songs. It's just a movie score. But yeah, I've got it, and it's all it's that's the only time they've done it. But that's
how listenable. How listenable is it?
It's all right, but it's not. There is loads of little small bits.
Shona!
Yeah, all that stuff. But you've obviously got the cue at the end, which you can use if you want to chase through some people's gardens. You could recreate that with the score. But yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, a lot of Hughes stuff that didn't, like you say, they're all songs that don't really, and little bits of score. Planes, Trains and Automobiles, again, they've never released a score to that. There were a soundtrack album just with songs on it, but no score. So yeah,
that little piece of music that plays over the top of the scene where they're in the art gallery and Cameron's longingly, depressingly staring at that picture. There's a piece of music that's beautiful that plays over that. It's like a synthy piece of music.
I think it's called
from the middle of a Smiths song, which I didn't realize.
There's a song. I don't know if it's called the Dream Academy. The people who I don't know. There's a song called the Dream Academy. And it might be a different bit. I don't know. Oh, that's the band.
I'm sure I was listening to the radio in the car one time going somewhere, and this Smiths song started playing, and I knew the song, but it had this bit. I might be wrong about this, but it had the bit in the middle that's from the sea, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
I'm not a massive Morrissey fan, so I was a little bit upset to find it.
It's called "Please Let Me Get What I Want." Or
yeah,
something.
please let me get what I want. Morrissey's. That's how I am, right? Yeah, it's a Smiths song. Yeah. Lord knows it would be the first time.
That's it, yeah. So it's the instrumental version, but John Hughes, I think, in a lot of his soundtrack, did that. He took songs and he used the score. He got him a rescore. You know, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, fits with it, doesn't it? I guess.
Karaoke tracks is basically what you're saying. It's just a film full of karaoke tracks.
Yeah.
Did we have any more comments to look at, guys, before we stop? Anybody else?
There are comments on that.
Oh, comments. Sorry, right. I thought you meant about the film.
If we'd addressed all the comments that would come through, if any.
Oh, here we go. We got one. Well, it's about Attack of the Clones, obviously, for next week. About episode 2, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Respectfully disagree with you there, buddy. But yeah, I'm really interested to hear positive things about certain acting choices in Star Wars, because I ain't got much to say.
Yeah. Roberto saying Night Amigos.
But I do think that he's going to storm it, Hayden Christensen, when he does come back. I reckon because it's not him and he's in a Darth Vader suit, assuming he's in his Darth Vader suit. I reckon he's going to be awesome. I
saw a film with him after he did Attack of the Clones and that, and Revenge of the Sith, and he were actually all right. I think he was a reporter. Can't remember what it was called, but he was all right. Don't forget, a lot of these people who are getting directed in that, and like you said I know we're talking about this next week, but they're acting against blue screens half the time, weren't they? You know, it's pretty difficult.
It's called Shattered Glass. I've seen it. It's all right.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
And he did that Jumper, which was a bit of a sci-fi one with Samuel L. Jackson, I think, which was really popular but not very good.
Right. Okay.
But yeah,
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I can safely say that is all we've got for this week on It's All Geek to Me. Chris, is there anything that you want to say before you head off?
I'm doing my soundtrack show on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock on Box Office Radio, and I do need people to request songs. Because it makes it more fun for me, to be honest, because I can play some tracks I might not have listened to before and things like that. So it's always nice.
The audience or us too? Because I always feel I can't never tell if you're asking us to or not.
I'm asking audience.
It's asking the audience.
Okay.
I don't want nothing off you. I played you a song last week, Webb. You didn't even
listen to it.
I played you a song. I said, "This is for my
get what I want."
Right, I'll put that.
Can I have Party Man by Prince from the Batman soundtrack?
You can both have them.
I love that album. It's brilliant.
I'll forget them instantly.
And Nathan, have you got anything that you would like to say to the community before we depart this week?
I've got so much to apologise for, but I'm not gonna apologise for shit. Suck it, audience.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
if you are watching, thanks for watching, man. I mean, we appreciate anybody watching any amount of this, that they can stomach. Watch the whole thing if you want. I'd really like to see some more comments, man. Give us more comments.
So this is community, and what I can also see is from the comments that our community are starting to become friends with each other as well, which is the idea of community. And that's what this is all about. It's about bringing geeks together, people who, especially now that this country has gone into lockdown, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be sat around, not being able to hang out with their friends or anything like that. And this is a chance for everybody to give each other a big virtual hug. If you want to come and find us on Facebook, we are It's All Geek to Me at Facebook. We are at It's All Geek Twit over on that there Twitter, and we are also on It's All Geek to Me over on YouTube, where edited versions of this live stream will be going out during the week. Nathan, what's up, man?
I just see you went a bit fast show in the middle of that because you went, oh. It was like you went, oh. It doesn't matter.
Brilliant. Okay. Well,
I was like marveling at you getting all those words out in a row, and then you went, oh.
And then you thought, I know that really well structured ending to the show. I'm just going to fuck it up and make it really difficult for Rich to edit this week. Ladies and gents, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Fuck me, shut the fuck up. Right, ladies and gents, Attack of the Clones is going to be next week. We will see you then. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.